Well, hello and welcome to this bank holiday in March. Today's the 18th of March, 2024. And I thought I'd make this little video just to kind of document the Morris Minor, this lovely Morris Minor. When I was 19, I was working in a company in Dublin in town called Allied Windscreens. They were based on Bridgeford Street, which is it's up near St James's Gate. It's up. It's just, it runs down onto the Liffey. And anyway, I was working in this windscreen company, and one of the brothers who owned it, their mother had a Morris Minor, but she'd passed away. So they decided they were going to restore this Morris Minor. So they brought it into the garage where we would do the windscreens and stripped it down. When they stripped it down, then they decided to sand the body of the car down. And do whatever metal work needs doing and paint it back up. Anyway, yours truly here got the job of coming in every morning at 8 a.m. in the winter with sandpaper and a bucket of water, wet and dry, and sand down the body to steel down to the metal, get the paint off it. And I have to say, after about a month, my hands were absolutely raw. And the discovery of Nitromorse was an absolute game changer, I can tell you. But anyway, the point of this is, because of this Morris Minor that I had to sand down every morning, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m, red raw hands in freezing cold water. And when you're sanding back and forth, and if you catch your fingers on something, oh Jesus Christ, the pain of it. It completely turned me off Morris Minors. Completely turned me off them. I hated them. So anyway, but I always had this thing before that Morris Minor, actually. Every time I looked at a Morris Minor, for some reason, I always thought, wouldn't it be cool to put a Porsche engine in a Morris Minor? I don't know where that came from, but anyway. Yeah, we used to sand that car down every morning, and I don't know what happened to it in the end, because the place went bankrupt, probably because we spent all the time working on this feckin' Morris Minor instead of fitting actual windscreens into cars. But anyway, I left that job. But it left me with a disdain for Morris Minors, let me tell you. So I went on, of course, as you do in life, 19 years of age, and I done lots of other things. And I got older, and of course I was big into the classic cars. Still am big into the classic cars. But I was lucky enough then to have jobs where I got to use classic cars as my daily driver, which was really cool. And along with that, I also have a bit of an obsession with old cars, so I tend to buy them. I buy the good ones. I also buy the heaps of shite. So I've a fair broad spectrum of the cars. Well, all of them. I mean, I haven't driven all of them. Jesus, that's impossible. But I've been around, and I've had my fair share of them. German Cross. Look at that. But I always wanted a Morris Minor. I always wanted a Traveller. But later on then, I started to think, wouldn't it be nice to have a Morris Minor? I had this expectation in my mind of what it would be like to own and drive a Morris Minor. So I looked for one in between, could never find one. They were either rotten or rusty, or they wanted ridiculous money, or the car was battered to death. So I would have liked the Traveller. The Traveller, I really like the Traveller. I think if you like Morris Minor, you also love the Traveller. It's a given. And the Traveller is just fantastic. Money wise, they're going up and up and up, which is a great thing for those who own them. But not so great for us who want to buy the nice ones. Anyway, fast forward up to say 2 years ago, 2018, I think it was. No, it wasn't 2018. That was 6 years ago. Holy God. It was 2018. It was 2 years ago, roughly about 2 years ago. I had this Talbot Samba I'd come across. Nice car, don't get me wrong. Terribly mundane. And I know they were a great rally car back in the day, but this was just a standard Talbot Samba. You may have seen it. It was up for sale on the internet over in the UK. I'm in Ireland, by the way. I'm in Dublin. And anyway, I came across this Talbot Samba and I didn't really like it. I liked the look of it, and then when I drove it for a bit, I really didn't appreciate it. So we have here Dundee online site for buying and selling cars. They have a classic section, and a chap put this Morris Minor up for grabs, but he also stated in the ad that he'd be interested in swaps. Fantastic. So I contacted him, and mainly because the wife was pushing me. She likes Morris Minors. I was a little bit apprehensive. She's like, no. You want that Morris Minor, get the Morris Minor. So anyway, I made contact with him and done a deal. And we arranged to meet in, I think it was Cavan. So the plan was I was going to drive out in the Samba, meet this guy who was going to bring the Morris down on a trailer from, so I think it might have been Donegal, I'm not too sure, could have been Sligo. And away we go. Now, here's the thing. Everything's going great. We're all happy. I get there. I bring 2 red cans. One is full of petrol. One is full of water. For some reason, when I left that morning, I thought, bring petrol, naturally, for the Morris Minor, because I'm going to drive it back. You know, I like to be prepared for every eventuality. I'm an absolute lula. When I go, I don't just go to drive a car or pick up a car. I go on a mission. Everything comes with me. Toolbox, tow rope, empty extra cans, and water for radiators if needed. So anyway, I pull up outside the chap's house, and there's sitting the Morris down the side of the house. Lovely looking car. This is it. I'm sitting in it now. I'll give you a look around in a minute. And lovely looking to me. Maybe not lovely looking to everybody else. Everybody each to their own, like, you know. But anyway, I thought it was lovely looking. And visually, it was everything I had told myself for years that I would want. Okay? It just had that look. It was sitting nice. I liked it. So I was chatting away to this guy, and we're getting on like a house on fire, and I parked the car. He's happy with that. And we go over to the Morris, and I say, right, I'm gonna throw some petrol in here so as I can drive her straight back. So we're chatting away, threw the petrol in, and shook his hand, and done the deal, and started up the car. And see you now, all the best, and thanks very much, lovely to meet you. Drove outside the gate, I'd say about 5 metres, turned right, and the car cut out. Wouldn't start. I'm like, this is like your worst nightmare. You've just done a deal on the car. You just literally drove out the gate in the car, and it cuts out on you. I'm like, you are having a laugh. Okay, so I don't know what to do. I look under the bonnet. Small little inline filter is full. Fuel pump is ticking. Everything seems right, but the car's just not running. So I go back into the chap and I explain to him what's the story, you know. And we're standing talking, and he's scratching his head, and he's saying, well, the car was running fine, you know, when he left his own hometown with it the night before. There had been a bit of rain, but the car was up on a trailer, so it didn't take in any water into the engine bay. Anyway, we're fluting around, and I opened the boot. He says to me, you put petrol into that car? I said, I did. He said to me, will there be something wrong with the petrol? I says, no. No, I said, it's just petrol, thrown it in, not a bother. And with that, I shook the other can, which was still full. And sure, I opened it. And I smelled it. What did I smell? I smelled petrol. What had I put into the... what had I put into the petrol tank? I put the can of water in. I had 2 feckin' identical cans. I just wasn't thinking. 2 red 5-litre cans. You know the ones that come with the nozzle. One filled with water, one filled with petrol. I left the water one on the left side, passenger side, and I left the petrol one on the right side. Duh. Obviously in my ramblings, because I talk. I got confused while I was talking and putting the petrol in the car. So, what was the issue? Lesson learned. Cars don't run on water. The chap was really good enough. He put the car back up on his trailer. We had to pull it up with the pulley. We got it back up on his trailer, and he actually delivered me and the car down to a place I was working in at the time. It was very good of him, I have to say. And yeah, lesson learned, and I felt very stupid. But these things happen. Drained out the... opened the drain plug underneath the petrol tank. Drained her out later on that day. Done the... changed the inline fuel filter. Cleaned out the carb. Fresh petrol in. First turn of the key. Boom, up she went. I don't mean no flames. He fired up straight away. And man, I'm telling you, I absolutely loved it. I just loved it. I loved it. Took her home that evening. I didn't get back till late then because of the absolute arse I've made of the car. Brought her home. It was the summertime. It was just getting dark. And the family seen it. They all seen it. They all just thought it was class. Fantastic. Now, that was it. Let me tell you, that drive home, where I was working at the time was out in Slane. So it's kind of B road and then onto motorway. When she got out onto that motorway, 55 miles an hour. Whoa, not a bother to her. She just went like a train. And I thought, Jesus Christ, 1969 Morris Minor. Didn't miss a beat. Fantastic car. And ever since then, we've just been working away on her, and it's been fantastic. Like, I had another video, you've probably seen it, it's on YouTube. It's of the startup, where I left it sitting for months. I think I left it sitting for about 3 months outside in the snow. And I was away in Spain. And when I came back, everywhere was covered in snow and ice, and the car was just encaved in ice. And it took a struggle for a while, but she did start eventually. Let me tell you, I was relieved. Subsequently, what happened there was the feckin' choke was stuck down inside in the going in down to the bottom of the engine. She was caught. The sleeve was caught, so the choke wasn't choking right. And let me tell you, as soon as I discovered that, I was delighted. Cured. She always starts first time on the button every time. Never lets me down. She's a fantastic car. Now at the minute, the back windscreen is out because we're fitting the new rubber. Let me tell you something. I started off telling you this story 10 minutes ago that first Morris Minor I worked on as a windscreen fitter in a windscreen fitter's garage, and I was a windscreen fitter. That was in 1992. I never had, and I'm going to, a displeasure, because it is a displeasure. I've never had the displeasure of trying to put a rear windscreen into a Morris Minor before this last week. Jesus Christ. Jesus and the Mary chain. I'm telling you, it is one of the hardest things. Now, if you have the knack for it, well and good. I'm delighted for you. On you go. And you get it in and it's working, and I'm happy days. I don't have the knack anymore. Plus, I don't really work as much on cars anymore because I damaged a thing called a rotator cuff in my shoulder, which it was kind of game over for me. Rolling around on the garage floor. I still do a bit. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It was a hobby. My 2 sons are mechanics, but they're not windscreen fitters. Anyway, I digress because I have this So another chap's going to help me now during the week to put the window in, and let me tell you, he knows his beans, so she'll be going in. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're putting the windscreen in. She came with nothing. For all I could get, I tell you, I have this book here, which is not really. There was no paperwork with the car, which is a shame. Members handbook. Nice map there that I'll never use. I've no paperwork apart from the ownership slip, and I have the old plates. And I think some people were telling me in the Morris Minor group that they were plates were from. I say, don't get me if I say this wrong now. Don't give out to me. Ashire in Scotland. But she's in great condition, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get out and give you a little look. Now I'm a bit squished for space, but we'll give it a go. I love it. Look, it's old. Anyway, do you know what I meant to say to you? I'm sorry. What's that? I get mixed up. The car is everything I ever imagined it would be to own and drive. It's everything. It's the noise. Do you know that noise it makes when you've been going along at about 40 miles an hour, and as you start coming down the gears then, how do I describe it? Do they call it the trumpets or something? It's like, I sound like an idiot. It's a fantastic sound. I absolutely love it. I love that noise when I'm coming down, especially as I'm coming in on a B road from somewhere. It's a fantastic sound. I love the noises of Morris. Maybe it reminds me of my childhood. You know, I'm 50, so I was born in 73. So when I was a kid, at the end of when I was 7 and 8, it was the end of the 70s, start of the 80s, and there were still lots of these knocking around. So maybe that's what I was used to hearing on the street. You know, they say, like, I don't like fancy cars. I've had them and I've driven them. But what I relate to most, I think everybody can agree, is you relate to the cars that were around you when you grew up as a child. That's what you relate to. You relate to your mother's car, your father's car, whoever. That's what you relate to. And that's what I relate to. Working class cars, I like to call them. Fiats. You know, Morris Minors. Little El Schmelf down the back there. Minis. You know, even the Volkses. But I love this car. Small bit of work done on the rear wing. Look, I'm not a panel beater. Do you know what I mean? I know the beading is missing and I had to reattach it. I heard there's fiberglass wings knocking around. I don't know if I put them on or not. Maybe I will. I'm certainly keeping it. I'm never going to let it go. You know, out of all the cars that I have, and I have quite a few, I do love them and I do hold on to them. But then eventually some of them I do let go. I'm not a dealer. I don't deal in cars. It's a hobby. This is my hobby. I'm sure like some of you, it's your hobby too. A lot of you, it's your hobby. This is my hobby. I'm not going to say I don't drink, because I do drink, but I don't smoke and I don't gamble. And I arse around down here. And that's the way I've always been. First classic car I bought actually was also in 1992. Was it? The Volkswagen Beetle. So, you know, that was the start of my journey. I've completely forgot what I was saying to you. Anyway, I know she's not perfect. Okay, so look, the beading has lost its. I actually thought that was black. That's actually the beading. Look, it's just lost its colour. I think the paintwork is original. I like to think the paintwork is original. It certainly looks like it's original. Do you know what I also love about the Morris Minor? Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, that's class. Come on. That's absolutely fantastic. Look how simple it is. Do you know what? I love MGB GTs as well, and I love them. Because I love how easy they are to work on. Look at this little bad boy. Isn't that cool? That is probably not the right battery in there. I thrown that in there the other day to move it. I had it lying on the floor. It's my little inline filter. I'm going to change the inline filter, and I have one there. I just like to keep it right. Everything is just so tidy. Every time I go though to paint this engine up and tidy it up, I get sidetracked with something else. But I love it. I love that. I love that engine. I love the noise it makes. Should have had that disconnected actually. Oh, Jesus. Let's fire her up. I'll try not gas myself to death. This machine always starts on the money. No, you're joking me. No way. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, when I show you something before I show you. This is crazy. This is the original interior light. A couple of weeks ago I came out little and I flicked it for some reason. My puppy thumb went straight through the fucking thing and I was like, oh no! Now, I put out an SOS to buy one because I wanted the same one. And fair play, a couple of people came to my aid and said, yeah, I have one. But this one gentleman in particular, who lives about 15 minutes from me, who I don't know, contacted me and said, I have some of them. Would you like one? And I said, I'd be delighted. And so my son flew up to collect it from him at night time after work. And the poor man, he couldn't find the ones he had in the boxes. So he took the one out of his own Morris, there and then, gave it to me son and said, give him that. I thought that was one of the nicest things. Actually, it was a lovely thing to do. A lovely thing to do. And I really appreciate it. Anyway, Keane brought it down and I put it in the car. And I thought, you fecker, I've wired it up wrong. I couldn't get it to work when you open the doors, you know. Now, listen to this. I know, it's probably just a loose wire. But I'm after coming down here. I was actually fixing my generator. You can hear it in the background. The pull cord snapped on it. Well, the son snapped the pull cord on it on Saturday. So I put a new pull cord on it, which I was very impressed. I got it off Amazon, the whole unit. Anyway, I come down and I said, I'll make this little video because I typed a little story on the Morris Miners Owners Club last night. Look at this. I'm after opening the door to show you the inside of the car. The fucking light's working. It wouldn't work through the night. I could not get it to work for love nor money. Wired it in right. I know it's a loose wire somewhere. But don't you not think that's gas, isn't it? I'm telling you this story about her. And I go to open the door to turn the key. And the light's working, look. I'm sure the light was working before. Oh, hold on. I'm sure the light was working beforehand, I don't doubt that, but I couldn't get it to work, and I know it's just a loose wire. But I still think that's cool, it coming on like that, just as I'm making this little video. Look, it's the little things. I know I sound like a simpleton, but sure, look. Anyway, let's fire her up. Come on, to pup you. Come on, you pup. I love this car. I love when it starts. Now, I look at my board after coming down. That'll have to be fixed. Handbrake up. Choke out. Give her a 1 pump. Give her a 2 pump. Look at them lights. Might I tell you something? I don't know about the rest. You might have seen the elf over there. I have a love for these clocks. The original minis as well. Oh my God. Here we go. Oh no, baby. 3, 2, 1. On your fire! Huh? I tell you, where would you get that? Morris Minor. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? How about that? I love it. Love it. I was also delighted to find that I had, which I know was on most of them, but I don't have it on my Elf, the little ignition starter here. Down there, I've turned it off, obviously. But yeah, I think out of all the cars I have, and all the cars I've owned, this is undoubtedly my most favourite of the lot. And I don't think I'll ever part with it. I'll probably buy another one. The only reason I said it is because I bought a 4-door. I only found this out afterwards. I thought a 4-door would be better, you know, for everybody to get in and out of. And it is. But isn't the 4-door... Let me pan this out. The 4-door is was an inch or something further up. So it's a bit of a pain in the arse for me to get in and out of. But all we got to do is lose a bit of weight. Easier said than done. Come on, lads, look, isn't she lovely? Like, why would you want a pristine Morris? Look at them wheels. Oh, there's another thing. When she came, she was on radials. Holy mother of Jesus. Morris Minor on radials. Woo! Around the roundabout, you start sliding sideways on you. I put the proper, well, I don't want to say I didn't put the proper tyres on, but I got new tyres fitted and the ride is much better. But it was nice to experience it with the radials. I don't know how people managed back in the day on them tyres. Crazy. Fantastic machine. Love it. Like, yeah, you can get a Minter if you want, but what you want a Minter for? You want something with a bit of character, something with a bit of grade, something that's been around the block and back. I love the Morris Minor. So what started out as a hate relationship, then went to a love-hate relationship, became a full-blown love affair. Moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself a Morris Minor. You won't be disappointed. Don't worry, that back windscreen will be put. I'll tell you what, anyway, here, look at this. Look at this. Look at that colour, like. Look at the green. Isn't it lovely? Look at the green, look. Magic. Absolutely magical. She signs away, but come on. She starts, she runs, she drives. Brakes can be a bit hairy at times, but I'll approach the sons about upgrading to discs and pads. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry I have rambled on for way longer than a 5-minute video. I've rambled on because I love this car so much. 1969 Morris Minor. What's that green? It's gone now. My mind has gone blank again. The green is... I know what it's called, but I can't think of the name of it. Green. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure talking with you today, the day after St. Patrick's Day, here in Ireland. When I'll get my windscreen back in a couple of days, I'll be out on the road. I might make another video, I might not. You're probably all sick listening to me waffling on. And by the way, there's some great videos on YouTube, and to the people who make them and put them up, thanks very much. We all appreciate it because it helps us out. And that has nothing to do with that down there on the floor. That's fluid from the brake cylinder, that little fecker down there who's giving me trouble. And this on the wing is just a reflection of the light and some soapy water I was squirting on the back of the windscreen that ran down onto her. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm sorry for waffling on so much. Get yourself a Morris Minor. They're fantastic. Good luck.